Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round five of the ANZCAR Cup. Unfortunately, last week we had a washout with the server issues with iRacing, but we're back here again tonight at the 1.5 mile track of Atlanta. Um, and tonight, joining me in the booth as normal is Mr. Matt Hunter. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Mark. Good to be here, and good. Thank you for jumping in and coming along to help us out.
Well, we've had an update on Carl. He should be back next week, hopefully. But while we're doing this quickly, we'll just do the points for the series as they stand as of last week, even with a washout being declared. So if you
Yep.
jump those,
I'll read those out. Yeah. So Andrew
yep,
Dyson at the front, Neil Pearson. Points are showing. We're just showing points totals at the moment. We will change it next week because there is a new system this year with win and you're in to the chase sort of thing. So we'll update that for next week. But yeah, so we can see after Pearson in second, we've got Edward Foster in third, Stephen Williams in fourth, Ruben Phelps fifth, Dylan O'Shea sixth, Josh Carroll Warden, Lachlan O'Creo, David Douglas, Joe Schultz, Jamie Nankervis, Paul Jackson, Kobe Jordan, Russell Bradcar, and Luke Juhere make up the top 15. Of course, all battling to make that final 12.
so you was just saying there, Matt, about making your way into the chase. Just quickly, if you win a race, you're in the chase, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yep. So at this stage, we would have our race winners are Andrew Dyson and Neil Pearson. They are locked into the chase, and yeah, so they're above the cut line, and yeah, as long as they show up for the minimum amount of races, which I think is 20 out of 26, I think something like that, they'll make the chase at the end of the 10 race chase.
Yeah. All right. Well, we might bring up the weather conditions because if it's anything like last night at the Thunder Series, we're in for some very slippery cars. So partly cloudy. The wind is from the north at between 10 or 9, 10 and 11 kilometres. The air temp's 30 degrees, so no real relief there. And the track temp is a whopping 41 degrees. From my little spies up and down pit lane, uh, I'm getting told that it's on this base setup before they can do any changes to the car. It pushes in three, and it's a left rear tonight on the cup cars that are going to hurt. So I've been told by a few teams that they're going to try and change the setup once that they can get into pit lane and work the right front, which I think may be a little bit dangerous with tyres exploding.
Yeah, you would hate to wear the tyre out completely and then get what we call a meatball flag, forced to come down the pit road and fix the car.
All right, so practice is done. We are now under gridding. So if we can bring up the grid, Matt, we'll run through the starting lineup. And on the front line, we have Darren McKenzie. Good to see him up there with Barry Neal. Second row, Jamie Nankervis. Great to see him up there on the second row. And Daniel Hederscheid. Luke Crum, Andy Barber make up row three. Row four, Toby Stent, Brad Finley. Fifth row, JCW, Josh Carroll Warden and Philip Worley. Adam Malone and Shane Bowen make up row six. Row seven, Lloydie Tompkins and Norman Clark. Row eight, Alexander Sheridan, Andrew Dyson. Unusual to see him buried in the field there. Row nine, Lachlan Urquio and Alex Schmidt. Row 10, Phil Auto, Darren Lobb. Row 11, Mirko
Dortanac. Dortanac.
Dortanac. I was getting it right last night, and I can't get it right tonight. And Tony Gagliardi. Row 12, Tristan Koch and Dave Douglas. Row 13, Kyle Turner, Neil Pearson. Row 14, Jade Schultz and Aidan Schultz. That's a great pairing to have on that row 14. Kobe Jordan, Paul Jackson, row 15, row 16, Dylan O'Shea, Todd Emery, row 17, Stevie Williams, Ed Foster, Scott Griffin, Matt Raymond on row 18, row 19, Riley Curtis, Nigel Siddle, and row 20, Ruben Phelps, Michael Skurlock. And there'll be a few cars back there. I say that, no, everyone's done the right thing and qualified. So we're heading around to the start finish and we will see what type of action we get here tonight as the pace car has the lights out and just about ready to pull off. Pace car is off. Should be green any second now. We're rolling into the start zone and we're away. Barry gets a great jump, but Mackenzie fights back hard on the inside. So last night we seen 2 rows form early and we've got a caution already.
Caution already? That's a bit puzzling. We'll try and work out what's happened there. Alright, let's jump into a replay and see. This is going to mess up the whole field, I imagine. That's when they came out. I'm just going to fast forward here, just quickly race through back to the start here. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Big check. Oh, big check. Yeah.
Yep. That's what's caused that one.
Oh, who's that flying backwards across the field? 019. That's Dylan O'Shea, isn't it?
Too sure, but we see there's a big check up there, and then it just squirts some of the cars out there. And yeah, 019 O'Shea's gone flying up into the 231 Jackson. Come down the track, hasn't had anybody else, luckily. Yeah, it's not a great start there, and that's gonna, I can tell you from experience, that's gonna mess up the iRacing's timing, and yeah, we could see a bit of chaos here on where actually positions and people are, and black flags, and all sorts of things. Let's see here again, just big Constantino check up on that bottom line.
This may take a few laps to sort out, Matt.
It will, yeah.
It's a little bit like round 1 of the Thunder Series where there was a big accident before the start-finish line.
And so what usually happens is the guys up front that are past the line tend to be okay, but it's the cars behind. Sometimes it can be a bit weird and they get caught a lap down or having to do a drive-through or something. So we'll just have a look at the timing and see if we can get any indication of it there. Yeah, we're seeing some drivers are like a minute behind on the lead there. So as they pace around, it should come right.
There's a lot of guys there showing that they're a lap down, but
yeah,
let's hope the iRacing system sorts itself out.
Well, this is where it's a bit weird because Noddy's in 14th position here, but he's behind the pace car. So where are the leaders? The leaders are right on the back straight. It's messy. It's going to take a bit to clean up and sort it out, but it will get there. And unfortunately, some people may cop penalties for no fault of their own for that.
Yeah, definitely. So O'Shea was very lucky not to be caught by anyone else coming through that accident. No use him going out and buying any lotto tickets because he's used all his luck there tonight.
Yeah, very lucky. Very lucky. So it's going to take a number of laps to sort this out, I think. I'm just going to have a look here. So we can see some drivers are having to go really, really slow just to let other cars around. So
I just heard over the race radio, I think Adam Malone may have been one of those victims, and and he's copped a black flag there. So
Yeah, and we don't clear the flags. So I imagine that this will be as it is. There won't be any. Unfortunately, if you're unlucky enough to cop a penalty out of that, you're probably just going to have to wear it.
yeah, I'm looking.
That's how it's meant to be for the rules anyway, yeah.
Just there's a heap of cars now getting away around. Paul Jackson's one of them. So yeah, there's a little bit of chatter and not happy drivers out there at the moment.
No, I think it's gonna be a lot of drivers who are gonna get burned by this. So yeah, a very unusual start there. Let's see how it all shakes down.
Shane Bowen's got a black flag. Adam Malone's got a black flag.
So they will have to line up for this restart. They'll take the restart and then they will have to duck down pit road within 2 laps to do a drive-through for the black flag, I imagine. It shouldn't be a stop and go at all. It should be just a drive-through.
No, it should be just a drive-through. So, yes, they will drop off that back the pack, but it's not as bad as a stop-go.
No.
And definitely going a lap down this early. So iRacing timing is showing that everyone except for Neil Pearson remains on the lead lap. So that is one good thing.
Bit of a concern. I'm not showing any timing data for Neil Pearson at the moment.
No, and he's at the lead, at the head of the pack. So
so there's could be something going on there, and it could be, yeah, through no fault of his own, there could be some more drama to play out on this one. So is Neil going to get a wave around this time?
just listening in.
So
iRacing has kept Neil there. So this
that's highly unusual, because if he was a lap car, he's showing us 40th on our timing data, and then if he was a lap car, iRacing would move him back to behind the lead lap cars. So now it's letting him go. Is it? No.
drivers have obviously not read the rule book, because they're asking for black flags to be cleared.
Yeah. Yep. No, that is admittedly earlier this season we did have an accident where we did have some a black flag cleared. That was a complete accident from one of our newer admins. Just got caught out there and just sort of forgot. But no, we in our racing here, we don't clear any black flags. If you cop a black flag like this, you just have to cop it, even though it's not your fault, even though it's a glitch. If you want somebody to complain at the drivers that caused the caution before they're getting over the start-finish line.
And the other thing too, Matt, if you jump, we're going to go racing.
Going to go?
So this, pace cars off. So Neil Pearson is being caught out, and he is a lap car at the moment. So
yeah, it's
going to make
iRacing's
very hard.
Confused. Yeah.
Yep.
iRacing's very confused. Neil didn't even go then, so yeah, what do you do? This is highly unusual. But Neil's now going to race because he's possibly a lap down, so he wants to stay ahead of the leader now and hope another caution comes out and get that lap back.
Yeah, and the other problem too is that everyone outside of that top 10, because they've been given a wave round, they all started in single file.
Yeah, as we're seeing a number of cars now coming in, looks like they're serving that penalty. So I think we've got Mackenzie.
Adam Malone.
Malone, sorry. Pearson, Worley, Bowen, and it looks like it is a stop go for these guys. So it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, very unfortunate.
Back up front, mate, we've got Barry Neal now taking the lead of the race with Darren McKenzie, Daniel Heddershide, and that's Luke Crum in the 27, I believe, along with Jamie Nankervis. So some good racing there. Just going to check back in the field. Got a little bit of a gap now between Brad Finley and Norman Clark. Then at the head of that second pack is Darren Lobb, and he's got Dave Douglas and a few others back there keen to get up to that lead pack.
Yeah, they need to form up these two lines and work together and just try and push their way back up there. They've already dropped about 3 seconds down, so I'll just put that data up actually.
And then further back, we've got Nigel Siddle, Paul Jackson, Reuben Phelps, Dylan O'Shea, Kobe, Todd Emery, and Matty Ray. So they've really dropped off that second pack too. So we've actually got 3 packs now, Matt.
Yeah, and our cars that have had to do the drive-through penalty, they're now all 2 laps down, so it's going to be a long night for those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll be hoping for some wave rounds and whatnot to try and get back on the lead lap.
But now, Matt, Atlanta does race like a super speedway, so anything is possible. 2 laps down is a big ask, but it's not a big ask. If all they need is a couple of good a couple of cautions and some lucky spots, and they'll be back up on the lead lap.
Yeah, they still need to keep in it, stay in it, and see what happens really. But yeah.
The other thing too is that they've got to think of championship points too. So they want to make the best of a bad situation, and because you never know when you're going to get a DNF or a DQ or anything like that. That could be a worse race for them to drop, apart from this one.
Yeah, you never know. There could be a couple of big accidents, and you might still finish the race 2 laps down, but you might end up getting a top 15 out of it because everybody else is rigged out in front of you. And these cars are pretty brittle as well. They're a lot more brittle than the Xfinity cars, I think.
Yeah, we seen a few big ones last night, and a few of them were able to continue, but then again, if it was real life, I definitely wouldn't want their repair bill, because there's some very second-hand cars out there last night at the end of the race.
There certainly was, but yeah, these cars they get a bit of a hit in the wheels, and they're almost done, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Let's have a look back now. This second pack here. Out the front of there. Lachlan Nerpio and Dave Douglas in the high line. And I think that's Mirko in the 93.
93.
Yeah,
I believe it is. Yep.
I always have to double check myself because it was always Riley Curtis's number for a long time, and he's changed now. So my first thought was to say it was Riley, but it's not. It's Mirko.
And the other good thing there is Christian Koch in the 550 car. He's been able to get back up there and running reasonably strong with these guys. But there's some good races there, like Stevie Doves in that group. Norman Clark. Who else is there?
Yep,
Kai Turner. We see Kai Turner had a great run 2 weeks ago. So
Edward Foster, of course, he had a poor qualifying effort. He's there now in 21st, up 13 spots.
And at the back of that pack, we see Joy Schultz. So I'm just wondering if we're going to see an alternate strategy of him tonight. We've been so far down in the field, try and get him back up in the front pack. But up the front, talking about the front, we've got a bit of a gap now between second and third. It's only a small one, but it is starting to stretch. So Barry Neal, Darren McKenzie, then Daniel Heddershide and Jamie Nankervis. And I just can't see who was that third car. Fourth car. Toby Stent.
Toby Stent, yeah.
Yeah, he's done the dirty on me and he's changed his paint scheme for tonight. I'll have to talk to him post-race.
It's all pretty calm and settled up the front there. There's single file. Those, is it top 10 cars? Just trying to think. 12 cars. Brad Finlay having another good run backing up from last night. Wants to try and hold on to the back of that draft though, because if he loses that draft, he'll sort of probably fall back a bit into no man's land.
Yeah, it's probably just holding on to that draft with sitting there. But if that gap gets any bigger, you will definitely see him drop off that lead pack.
I think he's managed to just close up a little bit now. You just want to stay in touching distance with the draft, really. So yeah, that top 12 is pretty settled at the moment, all just single file, just logging laps and working their way. We think fuel window is probably about 45 to 50 laps, so having run around in the caution, we're probably going to make it to at least lap 50, I think, before we see cautions, before we see pit stops.
Yeah, and again, we've seen last night, even though this is a 1.5 mile, we did see some guys end up laps down through green service periods. So it'd be interesting to see how good these guys can get on and off pit lane tonight.
You really don't want to pit under green. As they would seen the two guys that took penalty, or the 4 cars that took penalties all ended up 2 laps down on the leaders. So yeah, you really don't want to have to pit under green.
Looks like this second group is finally starting to sort themselves out. Dave Douglas giving Lachlan Urquio a nice big push there through the tri-oval.
Yeah, if you want to close a gap like this, Dave's the man that you want second in the line.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you want someone pushing you, want someone like Dave there giving you a good push.
He's very good.
What he's doing.
Very good and very strong on super speedways, so your Daytonas and your Tallahagas. And this new layout, repave of Atlanta, it races like a super speedway, like a Daytona and Talladega. So, yeah, I imagine he will push Lachlan eventually right back up to that front pack.
Yeah, definitely.
I think everyone sort of knows that Dave's very, very strong as well, so they are probably cotton on to what he's trying to do and going to work with him.
Yeah, it'll be a nice, good hard push from Dave. Dave will stay there. The only thing we've got to hope is that we've not been able to do any changes just yet. That car, that left rear, as I said earlier, doesn't end up breaking loose on him.
Yeah, of course, that's right. We have got changes where drivers on the pit stops can make some changes to the tyre pressures and brake bias and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to play much of a part tonight. It's not really a change-dependent track, but it could well be.
Yeah, as I said, mate, my little spies up and down have said that a few teams are going to definitely change tyre pressures for the next set coming in. So try and look after that left rear a little bit. And we've seen last night with Dave Douglas have a big snap in that Xfinity car. I'm just hoping we don't see anyone have a repeat of that type of snap tonight in these cars, because it will hurt.
It'll clean up a number of cars.
we might pick someone more where we've got a lull in the race and jump on board and do a couple of laps and just see the banking on this track now, because it's there's been a little bit more banking put on it. So you might just you pick a car, Matt, and
Yep.
you can give them the curse.
We'll jump on the veteran Stephen Williams car. It's a his teammate Darren Lobb up in the 99 in front of him. So yeah, just running around the high line. Really get a good idea of the banking there into turn 1 and 2. Oh, there's smoke in front. There's something going on. 2 cars down low, and we've got another caution out. So let's see if we can work out what's happened there. Oh, looks like Edward Foster might be involved in that one. Let's see if we can have a look at that. Oh, that's not good.
Again, not a great night for Mr. Foster, but
No,
the car doesn't look too badly damaged though.
no, it doesn't actually. Just trying to work out exactly what's happened there. So I think
Looks like Tristan's may have just come down and touched the the front nose of that car, and that's just turned him, mate. Or the rear quarter, is it? Yeah, it looks like he's just come down, back a little bit, and just touched him, turned him.
Turn the 53 into the 93 of Dorfnack.
What's probably safe dead there is going into Mirko and Tristan coming down. Otherwise, Ed would have ended up with that nose in the wall, and that would have been real damage.
Yeah, in terms of the other cars as well, I think only maybe the 93 of Dorfnack's got the worst of it. There's still a bit of checking up and avoidance going on there. But they're all doing a pretty good job.
Norman's done well to get through that.
And it looks like they all have pitted as well.
Yeah, the only ones that haven't come in is Phil Otto, Tristan, and Darren Lobb. So I thought Tristan would have come down pit lane to get some damage repaired, although he's on the lead lap. So
your car doesn't look too bad. He might be opting to come in and pit this time round. No, running a different strategy. Going for the track position. It's good. See the cars still catching up now to the pace car. Phil Otto's there in the pits.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
Looks like 4 tyres for Phil there.
Doesn't look like there's been a lot of changes happen. Paul Jackson looks like he may have got some repairs done. Toby Jordan, I'd say, has got some repairs done, because they've all been in the pits for a long time, in their boxes for nearly 30 seconds. So, but the pace lights are on the lights on the pace car, I should say, are out. So we will go back to green flag, and we have Tristan and Darren Lobb both on old tyres. So we've seen here last night, the guys on old tyres, they had an advantage for probably 1 or 2 laps, and then they got gobbled up by the guys on fresh rubber.
Yeah, so 32 laps, will be 33 laps on those tyres for those front 2 cars. So let's see how they go here. Let's hopefully they don't end up spinning the tyres. Tristan's got control of the start here. And he's away.
Looks like a nice clean start for Tristan. But Darren has bogged down a little bit. So we'll just see how patient these guys are behind him. These two, because as we said, they are on fresh rubber and they will be looking to try and gap the guys behind them and get in front of these twos to get a good run and try
They will be indeed.
build that.
So that ballistic car is still hanging out front. It's doing a good job holding on to the front so far, but Barry's having a big look. As we see, Mackenzie's using a big run down there to use that momentum, drops down at the bottom of that low line and takes over the lead there.
And we see Nan Curvis in third spot. Oh, don't go up there, Nan Curvis. We've got another good pusher there in JCW behind Nan Curvis, and you see him right up on the bumper, trying to push into the lead to get him that bonus point for leading a lap in the race.
This was always the good thing about super speedways is you get to see names of drivers up the front there that you don't normally see. So it's always really good to see these drivers like Nan Curvis and Koch get up the front, lead some laps. It's really good.
Jay, I'm going to predict that sometime this year, Nan Curvis is going to win a race, Matt. He's been knocking on the door. He's been solidly in top tens this year so far, except for when he's been mixed up in some unfortunate incidents when he's been further down the pack on the race starts. But I really think he will be a driver to watch this year.
I think we're seeing a little bit of a change in strategy right here, though. We are seeing a very dominant high line that's powered away.
Where last night in the Xfinity car, it was everyone was trying to be on that low line, right on that red and white line. Saying that, they've come down.
Yeah.
Now I know they're two different teams, but I do know that these two teams, Black Arrows and Atari, do work together. So it will be interesting.
Yep.
We've got basically 4 teammates out the front there now. So
yeah, that makes perfect sense. They made sure they hung up on that high outside line until the 4th car in the line was clear at the bottom, and then they all came down. So yeah really good work.
And Toby Stent there is holding Mackenzie up on that high line to make him really work for that, trying to get in front and get slipped down in the into that low line. If I was Mackenzie, I'd be just lifting my foot a little bit and dropping in behind Stent to get that bottom line working and try and gap these guys behind. But in saying that too, look who is in 6th and 7th, two DPR cars of Lobbin and Dyson.
Yeah, teammates are key. Getting hooked up with another drafting partner is going to be key, and that's what you're seeing up the front here. You're seeing, the 4 cars at the front all working together, teammate and teammate alliances, and then now you're seeing Lob and Dyson hooking up and pushing together to get up there as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the odd man out there is the 2 odd men out there, Mackenzie and Neil.
So they might have to find end up working together to try and counter these teams.
What I'm not liking though, mate, is in top 5 are Mustangs.
What car you like, Mark? Is it the Toyota, is it?
No, I'm a Fed man through and through.
Oh, okay.
All to do with my speedway backing. Yeah. But it is good to see a Toyota up there. I know there'll be one person sitting up in bed, definitely supporting that Toyota number 22 Toyota. So yeah.
We don't see many Toyotas at the moment. Yeah, even in the Xfinity car, I noticed last night there was not that many Toyota cars in the field, and in the Cup field as well. I think you're only probably looking at maybe 4 Toyotas.
I know I know the Mo was in a Toyota last year, but I don't know if he's come back. And if you're wondering who I'm talking about, it's Michael Skurlock. Yep, he's
Yeah.
retained his Toyota.
Yeah.
Um, so
So yeah, I think in terms of Toyota drivers, you've got Barry Neal.
Paul
I just
Jackson,
I've got to flick through some of these new names. I'm not 100% sure.
Mirko is in the Toyota.
So that's
Paul
2,
Jackson, Barry Neal.
3,
Uh, so there's only about 4 Toyotas in the
4.
field.
Yeah.
And then it's split fairly even between the Mustang and the Camaro. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just the shape of the Toyota. It's not a very popular shape. Yeah, I know I'm not a fan of the new Toyota shape, that's for sure.
I think it still comes back to the old V8s. Can't have a Holden there, so the Chev's the next best thing. It's Ford and Holden.
There was a little bit of action off the corner there between Stent and
Yeah.
McKenzie. I'm not sure what happened there, if it was a car pushed up or not.
I think Toby may have just tried to move him up track a little bit, but it hasn't worked. Well, it did work, but now Darren's done the smart thing and dropped in behind Stent. Just 2 laps ago, we seen Neil closing in on the back of Stent, but that front 5 cars now are starting to work really well together and get a nice little gap over Neil. It's now nearly half a second gap between McKenzie and Neil.
Well, it's closing up. Barry's getting really using that draft to get a really big run.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty consistent there. It's the next
And
group back that's kind of a little bit of a worry. This group led up here by Luke Kenny. It's 1.5 seconds off the lead, but if I was those guys, I'd be keeping an eye on those outside cars, and when they push past, I'd be tagging in with them. And that's the 53 of Foster and the 10 of Douglas. They look like they're hooked up and they're working their way up to the front.
So Foster's done well to get in and probably changed the setup on that car a little bit, and really starting to push forward. Again, the different paint scheme for Foster tonight. So Dave Douglas is still in his usual green and black car. So that's one good thing, that we can pick him out fairly easy. And then they back into that second group. That is an angry group. There's some just Phil Worley down.
Yeah, I think Phil. Yeah, I'm not too sure. He's one of the ones that got the black flag at the start of the race, and he's 2 laps down, so he might be deciding to call it a night, or he might be getting a pit stop, but I didn't have him down as only 16 laps on the set of tyres.
So the lead pack is closing in on Noddy Tompkins. The next guys that they will put another lap down. Mirko's definitely parked it up for the night. He's sitting there having a cup of coffee or something a bit stronger.
I think things are going to heat up a little bit in the front now. We've seen that the pack is closed up, and we've got a definite high line forming and working.
Yeah.
And I'd be watching that 53 and that 10, because they will be pretty aggressive and making moves, and yeah, that will encourage the other drivers like the 41 of Dyson, the reigning champ, to start making some moves as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Be interesting if
right. Sorry.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we got to make special mention of the 53's car paint tonight. Sorry, Carl just pointed out in our comments chat that yeah, the 53 is running a special paint scheme tonight, and I want to make sure I get the official explanation of it. Right. So yeah, he's running the special livery to celebrate his daughter's first netball premiership after 6 years.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. So 53 running a special paint scheme for that, and it looks pretty good. And also to the other drivers as well, if you are running a special paint scheme for whatever reason, and if as long as it's a good reason, flick us through a message and let us know, and we'll try and make sure that we give it a bit of a highlight during the race.
And we promise to not try and curse you while we do it.
Yeah. We're only talking about the paint scheme. We're not talking about how good they're going or how bad they're going, because that's the curse. Yeah. I've been particularly very good in the last few weeks at putting the commentator's curse on people.
I just heard Darren Lobb. I think he may be coming into the pit next time by.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. He's done 54 laps on this stint. He hasn't pitted yet.
So my little spies haven't lied to me again this week. So that's good to know.
So with two cautions there, he's managed 55 laps on the tank of fuel. And this is going to hurt. He'll go down 2 laps at least, I think.
So we're just looking up further up. So in saying that, these guys at the front would probably still have 25 laps at least on this tank. They're on lap 25 now, so if they can get 50 laps, that will see another 25. That'll see them to around lap 80.
Lap 80. That puts him right on the bubble for a fuel run home, 50 laps.
So I guess some of them would be looking for, frog in the throat. Some may be thinking and praying for a caution, but again, some of them will be saying, don't want a caution, I'm in a comfortable car, I know what I've got under me. So reckon, as I say that, we go to caution, go to a caution. Somewhere back with Paul Jackson, mate.
I think Luke Kenny is stopped on the track there. Let's see what's happened here. He might have damage to that car. It's looking like there might be something wrong with the right front. So he gets going there.
I've just heard him say over the radio, he apologised, he doesn't know what happened, everything just blanked out on him. So I'd say it may be a technical issue.
So he's up there. Oh yeah, it's black. It's blinking out, and then he's cut down in front of the 41 Dyson. Oh, and yeah, there's something definitely going on there because the following car managed to drive through him like he wasn't there. So, some weird kind of technical issue going on there.
Sorry, mate, just out front. Nankervis, JCW, Heiderscheid, all those lead 5 cars are in pit lane.
So we can see he's just blinking out in and out here, and then he's probably got no vision. And he's just come down the track, and the 41's just hit him there, but it doesn't look like any damage to 41. And then I think that's the 408 of Kai Turner's just driven through him, so hopefully no damage for those cars. But yeah, something a bit weird's happened there.
Yeah,
and then he's done the right thing, done the right thing, and then held the brake and pinned it against the wall, so nobody else would run into him.
I'd say Barry Neal has short fueled because he had to move forward in his pit stop and he's jumped Nankervis. So I'd say Barry hasn't taken on a full tank. So looking at the laps, we're on lap 59. They may be able to stretch the tank a little bit, but they will not get home on fuel now. Everyone will have to stop again for a splash and dash. I'm just trying to work out whether Luke Kenny's in the pit lane or not.
He's coming into the pits now, I believe.
Okay, so that will give O'Shea the lucky dog. Nah, Neil
No,
Pearson. Sorry, Neil Pearson could get the lucky dog if there is going to be one. It doesn't
yeah,
look like.
don't know.
Doesn't look like. No, the lights are out on the pace car, so I say no luck for Pearson there.
Well, I think he's taken the wave around because he's showing one lap down, and I think Darren Lobb is now back on the lead lap as well
Yes,
after that
he is.
green flag pit stop. So he might have been the lucky dog, or they. I think these are actually the wave around cars. So that's been very fortunate for Darren. And Neil and Adam Malone's got one lap back as well. I believe. Shane Bone's still stuck 2 laps down after that early black flag. It's very hard to keep up with everything that's going on. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And this round of pit stops, we've seen JCW stuck on that bottom line with his teammates on the high line, and then Curvis still out in front of that high line. So it'd be interesting to see what type of push Nan Curvis gets from the 2 Natari cars behind him. Barry's got a great jump. The bad thing. Oh, we may be back on the caution of just Neil Pearson's lit up the radio. So I don't know what's happened there, but we stay green at the moment.
I'm not sure what's happened there either. Well, something's happened in the restart there. Neil's dropped off the back of the pack again.
You can just see there Dyson give that big bump to the bumper of Neil to try and get him moved. Now these 4 cars, as I said,
Barry's
caution.
caution. Oh, we've got a number of cars slow here. That's the 114.
Something about going through wide, Matt. So
Oh, let's have a look and see what we can find. Oh, there we are. There's a figure 3 wide.
oh, and Jackson involved in it again. An innocent party yet again.
Oh, that's quite a big one, this one. Sort of ongoing.
Oh, how lucky was the 17 there? Nigel Siddle. Very lucky not to touch that car.
So here we are. So this is the 3 wide. And the middle car's just come up a tad and then just turned the 194, unfortunately, and it's all on from there.
Yeah.
Of course, all these cars down the bottom, everyone's just trying to get through. Riley Curtis got a little bump there. 17's come down. Whew, nice save. So that's great for I think it was Adam Malone who might have been 1 lap down, although it's showing as Andy Barber. Because that'll be another lucky dog wave around, provided they weren't involved in the accident.
Yeah.
Leaders won't pit, so that means cars won't be able to do a wave around. Be interested to see if you can work out what happened to Neil Pearson on that restart, because it looks like Neil was taking that car behind the wall. We're showing 3 retirements: Neil Pearson, Phil Otto, and Philip Worley. Although Mirko Dortnak will be a retired car as well.
I was just going to say, I think Mirko may have just parked the car in pit lane, and yeah, which is unfortunate because he didn't have a bad run up until about mid-race last night, and when he found some trouble.
Yeah. So don't mind me, I'm just going to do a little bit of investigation and try and find out what happened to Neil here. I've got my suspicions. I suspect that he might have copped another black flag. And then one of the other drivers might not have been in the right position, and yeah, Neil might have copped a black flag once that race started green again, and that could be why he lit up the radio.
Yeah, fair enough.
So this helps stretch out the fuel in this tank for these drivers, getting them closer to that what do we call critical pit stop. So we think, just trying to do the quick math in my head, I think from about 85 onwards, I think you can make that last pit stop and probably make it back. But you got to be wary. There's most likely going to be a green white checker, so you want to have a couple of extra laps with the fuel in your tank.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. I'm just got an issue here at home. So just give me 5 minutes and I'll be back.
All right, I'll solo it. All right, let's see the pace car pull off there. Jamie and Kivas getting ready to light up tyres, and there they go. So we've got 3 Natari cars there and 1 Black Arrow car, and they're all going to work together, and we see them all get hooked up, all lined up already on the outside line. I would think that those 4 cars would want to do just a good job of hooking up and getting down here and getting a bit of a buffer and a lead, and then looking to pull down and cover, although Mackenzie says, nah, I'm not going to let that happen. So Darren's got a really good run and he's dropped down that low line. Oh, actually, I just realised, because the Edmonds plate's different tonight, we've now got the 4 Natari cars all lined up behind the Black Arrows car of Nankervis. So we've essentially got 5 cars there all working together on the first 5 cars on the outside lane. And just that bottom line's just not able to get that momentum going at the moment. Andrew Dyson bails out of that bottom line as well. He's going to ride on the high side. And Kai Turner having a really good run. Up into 6th spot, and we've got another caution. So let's see what's happened back here. So we have another caution. The time data is showing it might have started here. Let's have a look. Oh, there's quite a bit of smoke already. Wow, someone's really smoking up there. Okay, so it's the 80 of Naughty Tompkins. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's already started. It's already started going to the corner there, and O'Shea as well. 52. So once again, just 3 wide and a little bit of a squeeze into the corner. A little bit of a tap there, gets 52, a little bit loose. And just about to save it. But of course, then all the preceding traffic catches up and is doing their best to check up, and unfortunately they Darren Lobb's got tagged in there. Skurlock and the 350's been involved. And then it's turned into a big wreck there.
A little bit of last night coming out, Matt.
Yeah, certainly a big one. Oof.
Adam Malone tried to thread the needle, but didn't quite work for him.
No. So that's very unfortunate. It's going to take a number of cars out as well. And I think we're seeing... Just can't work out who that car was on the outside. I think that's Luke Kenny. He has got the lucky dog, so he's going to go around and get back onto the lead lap. Yeah, comment in the chat from Neil's on Wheels. I think that might be Neil Wilson. Not 100% sure, but yeah, this track needs to go. Bring back 2008. Yeah, that seems to be a bit of a sentiment, but this is unfortunately is how NASCAR wants to go, and it'll be interesting to see how the real life NASCAR race goes on in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to a super speedway type track here, and then Auto Club, which is some of the best racing that can be produced, is going back to a short track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all the drivers are screaming out saying that, you know, a track that degrades the tyres is the best racing. But yeah, they just won't listen. So it was Neil. Yeah, unlucky Neil, you've had a rough night, unfortunately. Actually, while you're in the chat, Neil, did you cop a black flag on that last restart? Is that why you parked the car? And Neil Pearson's just in the YouTube chat, putting some messages in there, so just ask him a question while he's there.
Might as well use him while he's there, so... But the pace light, the lights are out and the pace car is in. And we got Jamie Nankervis going to lead this race away. I wonder if Toby can get a good run on him on the outside. And no, the question's been answered. No, Jamie has done a blistering start.
I think they're pretty content to just work together at the moment and get a big sort of get all those cars out front, and then I don't think they're going to start racing until there's maybe 10 laps to go, sort of thing. But that bottom line's now going to see a bit of action because we've now got Mackenzie leading it, and we've got Dave Douglas there, and Andrew Dyson's lining up. So I think this bottom line is now probably going to have enough energy and pushing it to really compete with that outside group of cars.
Yeah, and just hope we don't see any mishaps, because this could be in for a great, last 60 laps of the race almost. With this bunch of drivers up here, and you can see DD really pushing Mackenzie to the front. He's right up on that bumper of his, and Dyson is there too, just a little bit back.
That's why you want Dave Douglas pushing you.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you got 4 or 5 cars. Dave is really, really good at pushing. Talking to Dave about it, he said he's done over the years. He's done a lot of super speedway races, you know, the fun races and stuff. So that's why he tends to be pretty good on it.
That outside line definitely ain't giving up. So
no.
And we did see last night that line start to get more manageable and come quicker as the night went on. So maybe we might see the same again tonight.
We might do. I think they'll be just pretty happy at the moment just to ride. As I say, we've still got one pit stop to come.
top line just doesn't have the momentum at the moment. Even with that good line forming there, with the four Natari cars, the Black Arrows, and Kai Turner's closing in on that upper line to make a 6-car run.
Yeah, I think the difference is that you've got Dave as the pusher, second car in line on the bottom line. I think if you had maybe JCW and the 35 as the second car on that outside line, they'd be able to sort of push up there a bit more. JCW is another really good push driver on super speedways as well. It'll be interesting to see. They're about to come up to a lap car, so we'll see how they handle this traffic.
That's Kobe Jordan. I would say he'll go right to the fence. And they've caught him at the best time through that tri-oval.
Just needs to keep the car up high there and not hit the wall. Nothing worse than this, and you hit the wall and bounce down in front of them. He's done a good job there.
Oh, and that's inside lane. They're in Toyotas too. So yeah, so there is a few more Toyotas.
I think there's about 6 or 7 Toyotas. Yeah.
Yeah. But that outside line is definitely getting the run again, starting to pick up momentum. It'd be interesting to see if they, once those 5 cars have cleared that front, cleared Mackenzie, if they drop back down.
Yeah, I think they'd have to get all 5 of them clear, and I just don't see them getting all 5 of them clear. And I think they're going to be happy to sit on that outside line.
Yeah. DD is definitely not giving up, pushing Mackenzie right under that rear bumper again, trying to get that momentum happening. About to put another lap on Aidan Schultz there.
So pretty settled for what it's worth. 2x2, number deep, but yeah, pretty settled. Just looking like a typical super speedway.
Yeah, I think it's once we get to probably 105, that's where we'll see the difference in the Angus start to come out. So
24 laps on this stint for these drivers. A number of cautions though, possibly another 25 laps, maybe 30 laps before we have to see them pit. So possibly around that 110 lap mark we might see green flag stops, if it, provided there's not a caution between now and then.
yeah, and I think this race tonight is really going down the same avenue as the Xfinity race last night, because it was about 25 or 20 laps left, and we've seen the last caution from last night, and it was a real ding-dong battle to get home.
The field has thinned out a bit for sure. We've got 24 cars on the lead lap. Thinking this is my first super speedway race of the year to be watching and showing. Unfortunately, I had to miss Daytona and the Jules. it's interesting to just see what drivers are doing well on the super speedways in this car.
People say there's no talent in super speedways, but I disagree.
Yeah.
You've got to know how to drive them. Yes, okay, there is a certain amount of luck, but I mean to say you've got to make your own luck too.
Yeah, and you've got to be comfortable and relaxed riding right up behind somebody. As you see Dave Davis there giving a big push to the 0-2. You know, you've got to be, when you're in behind, actually let's jump on board with Dave and just have a look and see what I mean. Is you can't really see much. We're out with Dave now. You've got to be right up behind that bumper, and it's so hard to see the track. You've got to work out some indicators on the wall and the banking and stuff, so you know where the corner is. And you know you've got to stay nice and relaxed during this as well, because if you're not, you tend to your arms get a bit stiff and you tend to bounce around with the track a bit. And so there's definitely a skill involved, that's for sure.
Yeah, you definitely got to keep your nice, calm grip. You definitely don't want to go to that white knuckle grip, as you said, Matt, because your arms get stiff, and then if you do happen to bounce around that hard grip, you tend not to be able to react as quick.
You see what I mean there? Like Dave's right up behind there. The car Mackenzie. Bit of a bump. Oh, bit of a check up there. We've got a
Nice and cool, calm, collected heads up at front here. Coming up onto another lap car. So
I think that's Darren Lobb, who's managed to get back out there, 15 laps down. I expect we'll see him just slip up to the high line there and let all the pack come through.
does the perfect job staying up against that wall and not touching it. That's the important thing, is not touch that wall.
There's nothing worse. Like I hate those situations. When I was in those situations driving, I would get so nervous, and because the last thing I wanted to do was hit that wall, bounce down in front of the lead cars and take them out.
That's all right, mate. If you had car 14, you'd be right. That'd be expected. But we can see just nice, easy driving. Jamie has done a great job tonight, and the Natari guys behind him are definitely probably going to try and push him to the win to get his first win in the ANZCAR Cup.
Yeah, it'd be good to see a new winner, and definitely throw a spanner in the works with the win and you're in the chase sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. I know Jamie was about a lot of racing this year, but he's I think he's done the right thing in sticking with the ANZCAR, and really moving forward with his racing with ANZCAR.
I think the changes that have been made this year might suit certainly different drivers. The changes that I'm referring to is that we've always used the iRacing fixed setup, and you weren't able to make any changes during the race. It was just what it was. But this year we used the fixed setup as the start of the race, and then during the race you can make changes to tyre pressure and stuff like that. And I think we're seeing a number of drivers where that's benefiting them. They can change the car to suit their style a bit better, and that's why we're seeing them, pushing up to the front. And it's been really good to see this year with the different racing. We've seen people come up to the front and then drop back down as, some have got the changes right, some have got the changes wrong, but they're still learning what does and doesn't work for them as well.
And I guess it depends too on the changes you make on the time of day, whether it's a night race or so there's a lot to think about when you go to make those changes. But we can see Mackenzie in the bottom line starting to get a nice run now.
It just seems to be getting a little bit more energy to it now, a little bit more urgency up here amongst this pack of cars.
Well, we're coming to lap 100, so the last 30 laps is going to be very interesting because most of these guys are going to have to come down pit lane again. They don't have enough fuel on board to make it home.
No, and we think 10 to 15 laps time we should see them looking to pit.
But Dave Douglas is the worst of this. I know Dave, Ed Foster, Kyle Turner, and Scotty Griffith have all done 42 laps, so they're going to have a lap less fuel in the cars than everyone else, which is going to make it for interesting because Ed's on the outside in that outside line, and I'd say they're going to want that Atari guys are going to want to pit at the same time.
You would want to coordinate it so that you had the maximum amount of cars come out at the same time to try and get up to speed.
Definitely, because you definitely don't, with this angry pack, you definitely don't want to get caught out and left behind.
No.
I do believe Joyce Phelps has made it back out of the pit.
Running
that was the
31st and 20 laps down, yeah. Yep. So he's now back out there.
That was the car that they passed on the apron there. It's a little bit different to call when we've got a race like this because everything, as you said, Matt, a couple of moments ago, everything just seems so calm and collected. But I can tell you, some of these guys will be sweating in their cockpits at the moment, thinking, I don't want to stuff this up.
No, this is literally the calm before the storm because we're going to see green flag stops at this rate, and then the pressure's on to make sure they nail it, not speed. They've got to get in, make sure they stop cleanly, get their fuel, get their tyres, if they're going to change tyres, get back out, get formed up, get up to speed as quickly as possible, and then it's pretty much on. It'll be just a mad dash to the finish.
Well, according to my arithmetic, these guys will come in somewhere with 17 laps to go. So it's going to be a hard call. Do you take just right side tyres and fuel, or do you take your 4, or do you stay on the hot tyres that you've got? But yeah, it's some big questions to be asked.
And we always see, usually when drivers stay on tyres on the super speedway, there's always one that gets caught out coming out of pit road, because you always come out of pit road with cold tyres, and you don't practice coming out of pit road with hot tyres, and there's always someone who gets caught out by those hot tyres and sends it for a loop on the exit of pit road.
Again, we see DD right up on the back of Mackenzie and give him that big push.
So I think we're going to start seeing, we're up to 48 laps in the stint, but we did have that couple of cautions at the very start. But I think from any lap sort of onwards, maybe from now, we're going to see them start ducking down pit road.
So if you're Mackenzie and Dave Douglas and Dyson, you stay out there until you're almost running dry to hold these guys up.
Yeah. Do you know why? Yeah. I would. You want to, if you're in that low line, you want to stay there as long as possible and hope that the guys on the high line run out of fuel and are desperate to get down to pit road, because then they have to pull out of the line and drop all the way back before they can come in, and that might give you 1 or 2 seconds when you come out of the pit and to be ahead of them, and that might help you win the race.
You see Jamie just starting to lean towards that bottom line there. But I don't think he's going to leave those guys up there by themselves.
Well, Jamie's the one in the most danger here, because being out the front, he would have been using more fuel than the other cars behind him. So he will probably be the one that needs to go to pit road before the other ones. And I'd say he's lining that up now. He's on that low line. I'd say he's probably going to be coming to pit road the next lap round.
Caution, caution, caution.
Whoa, everybody will be hitting pit road.
Yep.
You keep an eye on the cars and the pit stops. I will have a quick look at this replay. See if we can work out what's happened here. Oh, teammates. Oh, oh, it's all started from the 53 getting in the wall. So we see here the 53 gets in the wall, gets slowed down. The 35, his teammate gets hit in the back. He gets slowed down. They pop down in front of another car there, gets checked up. They get a little bit loose. 35 shoots back up the track, and then the 52s comes through. It's all checking up in front of him. It gives the 53 a tag, and the 35 at the same time gets the 080. There's damage to Foster's car, so that's going to hurt his chances big time. And the 08 car coming into the wall there, coming to a stop. That's what's triggered the caution. So we'll jump back live as we see everybody's just coming out of pit road now.
I can tell you, all those lead cars have taken 4 tyres.
So they must have all been worried about tyre wear and then used the caution to do it. So I think we are seeing some, just looking at the timing data, there's some cars that have rolled the dice. What I might do is, let's see if this works. We just have to wait for the order to get shuffled up, because it looks a bit out of order at the moment. Wait for all the cars to go over the line. So there's been a number of cars that look like they might have taken fuel only, and some that have taken fuel and 2 tyres only. And bring that graphic up again here now and see if that'll show us. So when you're looking at that pit box time there and you're seeing a car that's been stationary in the pit box for about 7 seconds or 9 seconds or under, that generally would be 2 tyres and fuel only. I think Kaituna been stationary for 6.667 seconds would be fuel only. The 9-second guys I think would be left, maybe right side tyres only. And then your 14-second stoppers, they would be fuel and 4 tyres.
Yeah.
And that's why the orders changed around so much.
So, 19 to go. No gloves. It's bare knuckle fighting now. So, yeah, very, very interesting when we see different guys up there, like Scotty Griffiths has made it up into the top 5 now because of this caution. But Darren McKenzie's been very strong at the front there. Have to see how Kyle goes now with pushing. Jamie Nankervis is now back down in the 7th. So interesting times here for the last 18 laps it'll be, and as we're ready to go green.
There we go. Kenzie gets a really good jump. Those 2 Natari cars are hooked up on the outside line there. Nankervis has jumped up to the outside line to try and join up with them. $18 laps to go. It's a real chess match now. You're seeing teammates hooking up with other teammates, and those 3 cars on the outside line all forming up together.
I think you might find that even though they spent that last lot, they may drop down. Well,
I think they're waiting to do it. They're going to try and get Jamie clear, I think. They're really sticking to that. Not going to cut down until they get that 3rd car clear.
Yeah. But in saying that though too, Matt, as we see that those guys are now clear, Barry will drop down. He'll want to be on that low line, and as I say that, he does. So he's now in front of Mackenzie. But look who's on the outside line now. It's Dave Douglas coming to join those 3 cars at the front there, and Ruben Phelps is also no slouch when it comes to pushing. So that outside line is a very strong line. But taking away from nothing from that inside line too, with Neil, Mackenzie, and Burner.
If those 3 cars are in the control of the race now, we're hearing in the chat or reading in the chat that Dyson was speeding in the pits, so he might have had to. I'm not sure how that penalty is going to play out for him. Not sure if he has to come in or not.
So Dyson's now down in 18th spot. So
he's still on the lead lap at this stage though, and with this 15 laps to go, anything can happen. He's still well within a chance. I think every car still on the lead lap, still in with a chance.
Oh, definitely. I mean to say, even I'll put it out there. Even Todd Emery, even 1 lap down. All he needs to do is get a caution, and he's right back into this. Although the laps are starting to run out with 14 to go. As we cross the strike this time, it'll be 13 laps to go, and you've really got to think. Ruben gets a little bit of a DD gets a little bit of a push in that front end, coming into 1.
Yeah, they're all pushing very hard now. They just need to find people to work with.
That outside line is definitely the line where you want to be in, because that looks like it's a rocket ship up there now.
Yeah, look for Dave Douglas to try and take Ruben Phelps down with him. So that bottom line and get in front of Barry there.
Yeah, Ruben will push as hard as he can. So
Ruben's also got his teammate Lachlan Ekuo behind him. Very quiet night for those guys. They've just been riding down the back, and come the business time, they're back up the front now. Same for
I
Stephen
have,
Williams and Riley Curtis as well.
yeah, I haven't seen, I haven't really checked on where Matty Ray is tonight. So he's
11th spot,
normally,
yeah.
so again, he's worked his way from the back, right up to that top 10. So, um, he just keeps plodding away, and getting those top 10 finishes, and that's what you really need. Probably needs one or two wins to
Oh,
guarantee him a spot.
oh, we're going to have a wreck down the back there. Still green. No, wrecking now. Still green. There we are. Caution's out. Caution's out. Just saw in the back of the camera shot there. I think it was Kai Turner just got really loose off the corner and sort of just checked all the cars up again and they all just run over each other, which is just typical super speedway racing, unfortunately. See if we can go back and have a look at what triggered that off. It's not there. To full speed. Oh, I see, and I think, yeah, just maybe just came down, squeezed a little bit, and then the 5 didn't realise the 5 was inside. He's got loose there, he's still got it under control, but the trouble is all those cars behind are seeing all this happening and they start checking up and they all just start running over top of each other. 99, nowhere to go again. 53, tried to avoid it, got into the wall. And the 34 came down low, hooked the 550, and it's got a fire right up into the 53.
Definitely a night Foster wants to forget, I think.
Yeah, definitely a night for Foster to want to forget. I think he'll probably end up, yeah, whoever drive through from that, 12 incident points. Wow. So, did we have any takers for pit road other than cars repairing damage, I think?
I don't think so. I think everyone would stay out, mate.
Yeah. I'll throw up this one here just so everyone can see sort of where they are. So cars will just trundle around again and we'll calm it all down and we'll get ready to go. And so we're probably looking at about a 6-lap shootout or so. I don't know if we've seen the last caution for the night, because now is just going to be, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be gloves off and everything a go.
Right. So, cars are all lining up behind the pace car again. Lights are out on the pace car. What have we got? We got one Atari car at the head of each line, a Black Arrows car on the bottom line, which they've been working all night with the Atari cars. Dave Douglas and the 10 on the outside. The 6 and the 42 are both SRM teammates. Steve Williams kind of there on his own. There's no one really around for him to work with. So maybe look for the 98 to work with the 10 if they sort of get hung out a little bit. Here we go.
The big question, Matt, is how are these three guys at the front of the, the two Natari and the Black Arrows car? One of them's going to have to give a little bit so the other one can get down.
Yeah, who's going to get the better start, I think. And DD's all over it. DD knows what's going on, so he's doing his best to disrupt that. He's doing a good job because he's pushing Stent out there, which is kind of...
Caution.
Where are we looking for the caution? Let's have a look here and see if this is... No, of course, caution. Yeah, 3 wide into the corner. So 3 wide in the corner, not much room. And then just, yeah, the 045 gets into the 52, and that's what causes the caution. Yeah.
And I can't. That 52 car has had a lot of damage tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be parked for the night. Just having a look and see. Yeah, so not in the car at the moment.
Might try and get a quick word with Ed Foster. He's down in the care centre, so we might just pull Ed up and just see if he's willing to have a talk. You got a copy there, Ed?
Oh yeah, I sure do, boys. How are you?
Good, mate. Well, mate, what a night to forget.
Yeah, look, it didn't turn out brilliantly, did it? I thought I was probably going to be in trouble when I ran a custom scheme. That usually does it for me. So, yeah, custom scheme, not turning out so well. The guys in the proper Natari schemes, they're out there, they're having a good night. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we've been commenting. I know that the Black Arrows guys work fairly close with you guys. Both the Black Arrows and the Natari guys are having a great run tonight. It's a hard one to pick, but who's going to win this one? Because yeah, Daniel and Toby are working well with Jamie, but right behind you've got DD and Ruben and Stevie Dubb. So looking forward to these last few laps, and I think we may even end up in overtime, Ed.
Yeah, look, potentially. Yeah, look, any line that Dave's involved in is always dangerous. You know, he's got to be the best pusher in ANZCAR. I don't think anyone would dispute that. So, yeah, like anyone that he's pushing is going to be in a chance, but it's not quite the same as a super speedway here. You know, they tried to make it the same as a super speedway, but you know, it's not flat out the whole way, and Dave's not going to be able to generate those runs that he's so good at generating, because you do need to get out of the throttle, you do need to get the thing turned, tyre wear is a factor, so there's a lot that's got to play into it. So, yeah, unfortunately I can't be out there. I'd like to be able to finish this one off.
Well, mate, I know that ANZCAR has dropped rounds, so maybe this one may be the worst one for the year, and you can use this one as you drop round.
Oh, yeah, look, I mean, I've had a pretty good start to the year, haven't I? I've been spoiled a little bit with, you know, some things have fallen my way and haven't had a win yet, but it's only early days and I've been sort of around the top 5 every time. So, you know, one of these races was going to come sooner or later where something happens. I mean, if it's going to happen anywhere, it's here. Look at the quality guys who are out of the race already. So, you know, it's just one of those things. You can't be mad about it. It's just chain reactions and stuff. So, and that second wreck where I wound up in the wall, you know, before the one that finished me off, I caused that because I got tight and ran up into the fence. So I can't be critical, mate. It's just the way it happens.
Yeah, just having a little laugh here. The lights are out on the pace car, and Dave Douglas is already making his intentions felt with Jamie, because he's rolling around there and he's just giving him a touch up on the rear bumper. So
yeah, he will, mate. He will. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So yeah, before you let us go, yeah, just wanted to obviously some people might notice I had a bit of a different paint scheme on there tonight, and just wanted to give a shout out to my daughter Alicia, who won her first ever netball championship the other week, and yeah, she's been playing for 6 years. Finally got that trophy. And the livery tonight was actually a tribute to that whole team. So, yeah, it's I hope to have something better to dedicate to her than this, but hey, it was a nice looking car anyway.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was. All right, mate. Well, hard luck for tonight, and we're about to go back green. So if you want to hang around, by all means, hang around. Or we can drop you back down.
And she
And
wants to call the end. Oh, I'm actually a little bit behind because I've jumped out of the service, so probably best I don't.
okay, yeah. So,
All right,
And
have a
they're
good
all right,
call,
mate.
guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Ed.
So yeah, Heddershot's got a really good start there. Toby Stent's got in behind them there, and Jamie Curvis. Dave Douglas just trying to decide where he's going to go. And Curvis needs to come down now. Yeah, now they're lined up. Now they're lined up. Oh, but he's in the middle of the track. This is going not good. No, he needed to stick to the bottom there. That's going to drop him like a rock. As we see DD pushing up to the front there. And see Stephen Williams, the veteran. Two guys without teammates. They're going to work together to the end of this race, I do say.
Yeah, and I just seen in the background there, JCW and Jamie's teamed up.
Oh,
reckon.
DD's going round. It's final lap. I don't know if the caution's out at the moment. So we'll stick on the front here. Just got 3 wide and squeeze. Phelps is looking to get a move. Headshot's looking to block. Oh, Urko has been turned. Oh, they're bang in. And it's sideways over the finish line. Oh, and they're wrecking behind over the finish line. But I think Phelps has got that one.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
iRacing timings or the live timings kind of sort of gone crazy because it's still showing the Edderside, Stent, and then Curvis. So I'll refresh it.
Wow. What an interesting night. What an interesting race. There's certainly been a lot going on, and yeah. We'll jump back. We'll just we'll follow Phelps and see if he does victory burnouts, and then we'll go back and try and dissect what happened at the end there, because there was a lot going on at the end there.
Again, Phelps just in the right spot, and he's coming in the pit lane.
I don't think he wants to do any burnout accelerations on that one. So let's have a look and see. Okay, I've got to try and work out where this all happened and where it all kind of starts from. There's Urquhart going through the dirt.
And iRacing will penalise him for that, for unsafe pit entry and probably speeding in pit lane, unfortunately.
So let's try and go right back to where DD was involved, right there. Slow this down. I think something's happened with the... Oh, I'm not sure. There's a lot, like the timing's always changing here as well, so we're just not 100% sure what's going on.
Oh, Williams looks like he's got into the back of Stent, and then Stent's come down and got into the back of DD. So...
Yeah, they're just pushing really, really hard into the race, super speedway racing. So it's just sticking it 3 wide, and Stent might have come down just a tad, but Williams is not going to lift there, and he shouldn't lift there anyway. They're racing for the win here, and so DD starts spinning like crazy, and then
and then
comes
Curvis
down,
had nowhere to go.
And they're all just running over each other here, and they're all just keeping the foot flat. And then back up the front. Heddershot and then so that's still ongoing there in the background. Matty Ray is involved out in the 83. Still going. And we're coming out of the corner here. Phelps is trying to get around a Heddershot. Heddershot's trying to do a little bit of blocking. Kenzie's gotten to Urquhart and sent Urquhart spinning down pit lane. And then these two are sort of still battling for the win. And across the line. But I am thinking Urko has copped a penalty, I believe. perhaps from iRacing.
Yeah, as I said, Matt, I think he's
13,
going to
yeah.
get pinned. Yeah, he's going to
Yep.
get pinned for unsafe pit entry and speeding in pit lane. So,
No, not.
unfortunately,
Oh, Urquhart. Yeah, sorry, I
yeah.
meant Phelps. So Phelps hasn't won the race. He crossed the line first, but he's copped a penalty because he's hit 13 incident points. So Hedderscheid's actually won the race.
Yeah, okay. So, let me pull up this. So, yeah. So, Hedderscheid, Mackenzie, Urquhart. So, um, what a way! What a way to finish your race.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a crazy race. There's just been so much going on. We've had a lot of trouble trying to unpack it all and work out what's been going on.
Mate, we definitely can't say that we're not entertained with these races. The only problem we've had last week was with the rain out, and every other race has gone basically down to the wire.
It has, it has. So yeah, we're looking at Urquhart on the replay here. That's how he came across the line for third place, sideways through the grass.
All right. Well,
Wow.
since
Um,
since
well,
we've got the results, or maybe we should run through the
yeah,
final results before we talk to Lachlan.
yep.
So first, Daniel Hedderscheid. Second, Darren McKenzie. Third, Lachlan Urquhart. Fourth, Barry Neal. Jamie Nankervis. Fifth, Brad Finley. In sixth, seventh, Toby Stent. Eighth, Noddy Tompkins. Ninth, Norman Clark, and he's come from nowhere. 10th, Stevie Williams.
Oh, I'll click over the next page.
11th, Luke Kenny. 12th, Matthew Raymond. Todd Emery, 13th. Andrew Dyson, 14th. Alex Sheridan in 15th.
So
And
this is
then,
where, it's because there was so much going on there with penalties and stuff. This is why it throws out this sort of data here.
we
So
might just leave it there, Matt,
yeah,
because as you said, it gets too confusing. But we're joined in the booth by a man that makes his own luck, Lachlan Urquhart. Congratulations, mate, on third place.
I don't know if it was more luck or anything, but it was a bit of an interesting race for sure. I mean, it would have been nice to have got some green flag pit stops, but I think we knew from the very start that it was going to end that way. I've just seen my replay of me finishing backwards.
Yeah, mate. I just said to Matt earlier before we brought you up. Very entertaining racing here with ANZCAR this year, and very, very close racing.
Yeah, I mean, tonight I think things got a little bit too close.
On several occasions.
I'll be behaved. I won't make too many comments, but yeah, it was a bit interesting tonight. But yeah, I think the key to that last lap was when we got Maddie, myself, and Ruben all lined up. We were able to clear most of the carnage, and that got us into a good spot. It's a shame Ruben got drilled and lost. He got that 4X at the end, which dropped him a lap down, but because he definitely drove really well tonight. But yeah, it was. And then unfortunately to get clipped and turned into the grass was not the way I wanted to finish it, but top three, first ever top three in the Cup, I'll happily take that one. And it should help me out the points too.
Yeah, well, I think you're just inside the top 10 in the points or just out. I was remember.
Inside it before the race. It just depends on how well that one goes, because I think there was a few guys above me that had bad nights, so should be a good boost.
Yeah. I spoke to a couple of teams before. That left rear tire was the one that they everyone said seemed to hurt. How'd you end up with that left rear? I know I spoke to your team boss, and he said he had a plan to make some wholesale changes through the race. With the cautions, I guess you were able to do that pretty easy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you might have to look through the telemetry. No secrets spilled around here. But no, we looked after the left rear pretty well. We were fine on that one. We made some changes. We did plenty of practice, so we knew what we had to do to get the car to work. So yeah, we looked after ours pretty well, and that's why we were so quick at the end there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, shout out to our supporters and sponsors, and anyone else you'd like to say good day to.
Well, I'll start with the sponsors. We'll talk. Big thanks to Mobile Brakes Mechanical for putting the logos on the car and helping us out with the practice sessions this year. And then Made of Auckland. Big thanks to S. McLean Mechanical, Murphy's Motor 10 for helping us out as well. And then also we got the charities that we're looking at for. We've got the AAAF, the Alopecia Foundation for Brenton, and then I've got the TS, Tourette Syndrome Australia logos on the car as well. A couple of really good charities out there doing some good work and underfunded too.
Yeah, definitely are, mate. Well, mate, congratulations again on third place, and look forward to seeing you in the trucks again on Monday night.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. I think we're at Bristol Dirt, so don't expect anything special from me. I'm a bit of a backmarker on the dirt track, so we'll see how we go.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time tonight, and again, congratulations on the third place.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for the broadcast, and have a good night.
Yep, definitely. Thanks, mate. So we will pull up our second place getter and make sure I get the right person. Mr. Darren McKenzie, congratulations, mate, on second place.
Yeah, I don't know how I got there, but it happened.
Yeah, always an entertaining race around here. Very door-to-door racing tonight, and some very close racing, and typical of a super speedway type race with plenty of wrecks.
Yeah, that played to my advantage at the end there. That 6-7 second stop that I had, I didn't take any tyres at all. I was just they felt pretty good, and I thought I would risk it, take the lead out of the pit, and realised my mistake quickly, and another yellow came, so I was able to jump in the pits again, change my tyres, but it dropped me back to 17th or 18th, and yeah, that was with about 6 to go, so I had a fair bit of work ahead of me.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at there, just got tangled up with Lachlan at coming to the start-finish line. Unfortunately, for Lockie, but fortunate for you.
Yeah, he showed me a bit of daylight. He sort of ran up to that second line there, and yeah, I wasn't backing off. I just shot the gap, and he sort of ducked down in front of me, and yeah, I wasn't lifting at that stage, and unluckily I gave him a tap the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, mate, tyre wear, how was that tonight?
Oh, it was great. Like the full stint. That's why I didn't change tyres with 19 to go, and the low line was tough, especially when the high line's holding you down. But other than that, yeah, I was able to hold that line, not a problem, even with Dave pushing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, before we let you go, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, you guys with the broadcast, Performance E-Streaming, ANZCAR, guys at Southern Stars, great bunch of fellas, great team to drive for. And sponsors, yeah, we got SkyPoint, RBI Trading Cards, Tiona Holiday Park, and Mish's XL Garage.
All right, mate. Well, again, congratulations on second place, and we'll see you on the dirt on Monday night in the trucks, will we?
Oh, for sure. I like me a bit of dirt racing.
All right, mate. Well, again, as I said, congratulations, and thanks very much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
All right. So, we bring up race winner, when I can do it right, Mr. Daniel Heddershield. Mate, congratulations. What a way to win a race.
What a chaotic part of that race there. It was pretty civilized until then, and yeah, it got pretty aggressive and pretty chaotic on that last green-white checker, but yeah, came out with the right result.
I wouldn't have said civilized further back in the pack. It was pretty up and down and pretty hard knocks behind you. So, but a great way to, well, not a great way, but a great finish. Always tough around here, and door to door and nose to tail racing for 130 laps, really.
Yeah, it was. It was really close. It's a different style track. I'm not sure if I obviously like it a lot more after tonight, but coming into tonight it was a bit different. But yeah, it was hard racing. good close, pretty clean up the front. Obviously down the back, I tried to keep myself away from running down there because I know what the trouble would be like down there. But yeah, staying up the front, the team done a massive effort to keep me up there. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, great to see there before that second or third last pit stop. The guys working together and working close with the Black Arrows team with Jamie Nankervis.
Yeah, no, we all worked together tonight. Keep those boys up the front. Jamie was doing an awesome job up with us, helping us, especially I think with about 2 yellows to go. He was covering me and Toby up the front, and it was working like a dream.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, obviously the yellow came out and broke that up a little bit, but here we are.
We I got told the left rear was the tyre to watch tonight, and that would hurt. Did you find that, or tyre wear was pretty good for you guys?
It wasn't too bad. It was more the right front that was wearing for us. It was just turning into a tank trying to get it around turn 3, 4. But I mean, a bit of lifting and a bit of braking and management and stuff to get the car going. The car felt really good most of the night.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, mate, congratulations again on first place. And before we let you go, shout out to your sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, first of all, massive shout out to all the Natari boys and Jamie working with us tonight. It was awesome. I wouldn't have been anywhere near the front without all of them pushing me along and working together, keeping us all out of trouble. And AJD, Fully Floored, Turbo Alpha Japan, you guys for whacking on the broadcast. It's always good to watch back. And ANZCAR for putting on a good show.
Yeah, well, mate, we're off to Monday night, the ANZCAR trucks at the Dirt, at Bristol Dirt. Will we see you there or back next week for you?
Not sure. We'll see how it goes. I wouldn't call myself much of a dirt racer, but it's always a bit of fun to take these things out on a dirt track. So maybe we'll see. We'll see on Monday where that leads us. Otherwise, next Thursday.
Yep. All right, mate. Well, again, congratulations on the race win, and we will see you either Monday night or next week. Back for another instalment of exciting racing.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Well, there you have it, Matt. What a great way to finish the race. Very close, and close door-to-door racing.
Yeah, very, very interesting. A lot going on, a lot to unpack. Good luck to the stewards for that one. I'm sure there'll be a lot to review and look through there. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to be reviewing this race, because I think there may be a few hard decisions. So, but good luck to them, and I must admit they do a great job. It's an unloved job, and all the admin from all the leagues, right throughout everywhere, do a hard and thankless job to put on these races. So, me personally, thanks to every one of them.
Indeed.
So next week, Matt.
So,
we
next week, cup-wise, we go to Coda, Circuit of the
Ooh.
Americas.
Yep. But before we get to next week, we've got some great racing on Sunday night with the Australasian Super E Series. So where are they? Oh, I can't remember. I've got too many broadcasts and races to remember.
It's Atlanta as well, believe it or not.
Oh.
But they're on the old Atlanta layout, so
Very
I'm
good.
pretty sure, they're on the old one, not this new one.
Yep.
So that should go pretty good. They'll have tyre dig, so they'll have to look after their tyres and manage that.
Yep. And then Monday night, where we've mentioned that over on Checkered Flag E streaming, where Bristol, but on the dirt. So should be some entertaining racing there.
It will be, yeah. Yep. So the trucks next week on Monday they'll be at Bristol Dirt. If you are a truck driver, ANZCAR, we do use the licenses for the relevant what's the word, categories. So essentially, you need to get your dirt license. So you can't just rock in with a rookie or D-level D license to get into the trucks. You need to actually, for dirt, you'll need to actually make sure. I think you've got a minimum of C class dirt license to be able to get into that one if you're planning on running that. And then same for the road courses as well. You'll need to make sure you got the equivalent road licenses as well. Otherwise, you won't get into the server.
Yeah, and unfortunately, mate, they don't have a big wing on top of those trucks, so I'll just stick to the broadcasting for Monday night. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to the Xfinity or the Thunder Series and the Cup cars at Circuit of the Americas, because it was a very entertaining truck race the other week, and some good action to be had there.
Indeed, and I'm really looking forward to the Circuit of Americas, the Coda race, the Cup race next week to see if there's anybody who can challenge the road course master Andrew Dyson. He tends to have it his own way on these road courses, and it'd be nice to see if we have got somebody that can sort of take it to him and really challenge. Because they'll have in-race adjustments there as well. So I don't know if that's going to help anybody close the gap to him. And then for the Thunder series, I'd be interested to see who sends up there because I don't think Andrew's running in that series. But if he turns up, then he will be very fast and the person to beat as well.
Yeah, I know. I think Carl's back next week, so ladies and gentlemen, you won't have to put up with my voice as the main commentator. Carl will be back.
And you won't have to put up my voice. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm kind of sort of thinking Circuit of Americas, too many right-hand turns for me, so I think I might even just join Carl back up here in the box next week.
Yeah, it's it's NASCAR's on the road courses is a thing.
Yeah.
A thing. We'll just call it that. We'll just call it a thing.
Well, on that note, you're up to date with what's coming up next week. Matt, thanks for pushing everyone's buttons tonight and bringing us the great camera views and the great shots. To everyone that's tuned in tonight, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the racing because I know Matt and I did. And stay safe until we talk to you again next week. So from me and Matt, good night and thanks very much for tuning in.